Hi, everybody, and welcome to Pandora here as we take a look at the Pandora-Gilboa Rockets, the 2013 edition. Mark Kunz and Chris Parks, brought to you by Parsons Garage. Kerry Arthur, the head coach of the PG Rockets, joining us here, the longtime coach of the PG Rockets. Plenty of experience here guiding this program. A season ago, you guys were 5-5, so right at that 500 mark. Shut out a couple teams, got shut out by a couple other teams. What can we look forward to this season? Who do you have coming back, and numbers and such like that?
Well, we feel excited because we have 40 ball players out. It's the first time in a long time. At least
the numbers look pretty good out there from what I saw.
At least a dozen years it's been since we've had this many players. So that in itself speaks volumes because then we have lots of upperclassmen that can go against each other, and I can kind of separate the freshmen. We have a lot of returning starters. We've had extremely small senior classes. Last year there was only 12 boys in the entire senior class, and the year before was only 10 boys. Just happened to be back-to-back, and because of that we had a lot of younger guys playing. So this year we have 10 returning starters on offense and 8 on defense, and that is going to go a long ways towards helping us get off to a good start.
Of course, last year you were the recipient of the John Reed Leadership Award, the third award that we have given out at WOSN, and we will continue to give out the John Reed Leadership Award this year. And along those lines, an interesting community service project for the Pandora-Gilboa Rockets this year. You guys put in a little sweat equity into the playground you see behind us right now.
Well, it was a lot of sweat equity, and it was very hot, humid days where we did that. We took mulch out of the playground, and it was interesting. It's been about, I think, 16 years since that was built, and every year they put more mulch in, and they were having problems with weeds. So we took out the mulch. It was 12 to 18 inches thick, and then came back in and put some smaller stones in so they could kind of solve the weed problem. And it was kind of neat just because the kids could remember playing on certain parts of the playground, and so we left a section open each night. We were out here 8 different nights, and to let kids play while we were working. We have some farm boys that knew how to handle a shovel and a rake and a wheelbarrow, but we had some city slickers that had not done that before. So I think it was a good experience for everybody, and I think it's a little bit different than lifting weights and running, actually, and then working together. I really like that part of it.
Yeah, it's a great way to get country strong, working with the ground.
Is it something you envision doing, maybe something over the summer with kids in the future, doing a project like this maybe every summer?
That would be our goal. We have 2 communities, Pandora and Gilboa, and this year Pandora happened to get a grant to be able to fund the stones and that kind of thing. So my goal is to work with Gilboa. We also have 2 townships, so I could work with them also. And we actually did a work for donation project for the summer, and we had a display set up at the pharmacy and the bank and a couple other stores because we were working towards purchase of new uniforms. And so we have done some other kinds of things, laying mulch for people, cleaning windows, and power washing, painting. So actually it's been kind of a variety of things, and I think we'll probably continue to do that next year.
As you look at this Rocket team going into the 2013 season, what do you think the strength of this year's team is going to be?
Without a doubt, it would be our offensive line and defensive line. We have Ron Hovest at a tackle position, who's 6'4" and 296 is what he weighed in at coming in from the summer. He's a 2-year starter. He'd played 260 when he was a sophomore, 275 as a junior. Now he's up to 296, and he hasn't really lost a lot. We have Jared Towsley's the other tackle, and he's 6'5" and 220. Very athletic, very aggressive. So when you have 2 good tackles you can rely on, and then we have Garrett Gerdeman, who's 6'3", 220 at a guard, and Kyle Canine, who's 6'2" and 255 at a guard. And they are both returning as juniors. And then Evan Hovis, a senior who also lettered last year. We can do a lot, and we're expecting to run the ball a lot more. We're returning our quarterback, Sesh Mink, who had thrown for almost 900 yards last year. Jacob Basinger was our second leading back, and he'll be our tailback this year. And so I think from that perspective, we feel we can run the ball. We have returning receivers. Alex Osborne he's 6'3", 200, and we're going to run him as a tight end and also as a wideout. Bradley Walters, 6'1", 185. He's also a nice, big, tall guy we like to throw to. Brian Schneck's a 2-year returning Z receiver, and then we've got potential for some other guys to play that other wide receiver spot. Reed Hovis is probably the most athletic kid in our whole school, and he is going to play for us too as a slot receiver. So we're excited just because we have a lot of returning veterans, and your practice time can be used to refine rather than to teach from the very beginning like we've had to with the young guys.
Do you think that combination of the size up on the offensive and defensive lines and the skill players that you have back can get you over that hump, get over 500, and maybe make a push towards the top of the BVC this year?
Yeah, definitely. 2 years ago we went 2-8. We just didn't have a lot of upperclassmen, and those sophomores. You never know when you play a young guy. Is he going to kind of get beat up and then maybe fall away, or maybe when he gets older he's have a sense of entitlement, like I don't have to compete for a position. And I really like the competitive desire of our senior class this year. I really think the fact that last year we went 5-5, which was progress. We won 3 games. We were supposed to win 2 games that were questionable. We just couldn't get past the big dogs. And the BVC was very powerful last year. And
certainly, yeah.
I think we lost less than other teams. So I think that could help us.
All right, looking forward to the Pandora-Gilboa season. Of course, they open up at home this year, taking on the Columbus Grove Bulldogs in week 2. Home as well for Corey Rawson. When we come back, more from the Rockets on the Parsons Garage Preview Show.
Welcome back to PG here on this Parsons Garage 2013 look at the PG Rockets. 2 players joining us up on the set. Seth Schmink, the quarterback, and Alex Osborne, who's playing tight end and linebacker for Carey Arthur's squad. Let's start first off with you, Seth. Back at the quarterback position this season. Coach Arthur said you guys have huge offensive and defensive lines this year. You got to be really happy about that.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Biggest we've had in all 4 years that I've been here, so I'm glad to be the one back there behind all those big bodies.
One of the guys that will hopefully be catching some passes from you, Alex Osborne. Just talk about that size you guys have on the line, and also the size at tight end as well, too. It seems like you guys may be able to push some people around this year.
Yeah, hopefully we can push some people around. Like you said, we have a lot of size on the line, almost 230 across the line averaging. That's huge in the BVC. We have a very experienced line, too. Most of them are 2-3-year starters.
Well, those guys hopefully will be pushing some people around here in 2013. Seth, you guys 5-5 a season ago. With a lot of people coming back, you have bigger numbers, almost 40 players. Do you think you guys will get over that 5-win hump this year?
I really think that we have, like you said, the numbers and the people back to do so. We didn't lose too much from last year. We had small senior classes the past 2 years, and like you said, we got a lot of 3-year letter winners coming back, and hopefully us seniors will be able to lead the team and get past that hump.
Alex, on offense, what kind of things can we expect this year from PG?
You can expect shotgun and 5 wide, a lot of spread like the old PG team, but we're going to mix in a lot of run too.
Seth, do you think you guys will throw a lot of defenses off with that spread and also maybe kind of packing together and running a little bit?
Yeah, I think. Like I said, we have the depth this year to go inside and out, so it should be a pretty dynamic duo.
You guys open up week 1 with Columbus Grove. You guys open up with them every single season. Alex, what's that rivalry like with them? Knowing they're 5 minutes down the road, I'm sure you probably know a lot of players on their team.
Yeah, you see guys around town, just things in Ottawa, like going out to eat and stuff. And all summer, that's the game you think about. That's the first game. You're counting down the days. We started counting down last December, Started from 90-something, 60-something, 30-something. Now we're down in the 20s,
Hard to believe.
Hard Hard to believe.
Yeah, really. Less than 30 days, close to 20 days till we open up the season here for PG and all of our teams around West Central Ohio. Time to take a break here on the Parsons Garage PG preview show here. When we return, Mark will have 2 more players as we continue on with the PG Rockets on WOSN.
Welcome back to this Parsons Garage Pandora-Gilboa Rocket High School Football Preview Show. Joined now by Evan Hovest and Jared Towsley, a couple of the stalwarts on the line for the Rockets. And talking to Coach Arthur, he thinks that line is going to be one of the strengths of this year. Is that something you guys have seen come together over the summer, both the line on both the offense and defensive side?
Yes, everybody on the line this year has 2 or 3 years of experience, so we've been together for a few years, so we got good chemistry.
Evan, it kind of seems as if things are kind of pointing in the direction for the Rockets to have a big year this year. A big number of kids out, 40 kids out, a good senior class that has played together the last few years.
Yeah, I'm liking all the kids out here. We got a lot of good players out here, a lot of skilled players.
Now, one of the things Coach was telling us about was over the summer you guys did a little community service project here at Pandora Park and put the pea gravel in instead of the mulch. Tell us about what that experience was like, a chance to give back to the community, a place where I suppose you guys played when you were growing up.
It was fun. It was just a group of guys getting together, doing some work. So we had a good time, plus it felt good doing something for the community.
Evan, was it better doing that than hitting the weight room necessarily?
It's about even. I like getting in the weight room and getting bigger. But I love good hard work outdoors as well. It builds character.
We talked a little about the offense with Seth Schmenk earlier and Osborne. Let's talk defense. What can we expect out of the Rockets D this year?
A solid defensive line. And our linebackers are going to be really good as well.
We got a big line. We're fast. We'll be getting off the ball pretty good.
Week 1, taking on Columbus Grove as always. How much you guys look forward to that game?
That's the game that I think will determine our season.
Having a couple of home games to start off the year, is that a good way to get the fans out and get going early on?
Oh yeah, it is.
Let's take a look at the BVC for a little bit. We know that what this conference is like year in and year out. You got some very good teams at the top. You've got some very bad teams at the bottom. Last couple of years, PG, you've been right in the middle. Do you think this is a year that maybe you can move up to that upper echelon?
I'd say so. I'd say this could be our comeback year right here. We've had a lot of rebuilding years, and it's looking good.
Jared, your final thoughts on this upcoming season?
We should have a very good year. We got a lot of guys back, and I'm excited for it.
Rockets are excited as they will open up the season at home. I'd like to thank all of our guests today, Coach Kerry Arthur, along with Seth and Alex, and with Evan and Jared. For Chris Parks, I'm Mark Kunz. And a special thank you to Parsons Garage for sponsoring today's Pandora-Gilboa High School Football Preview Show.